people, and she said, I feel a need to call you. She said, what's going on? I said, well, my mom is ill. And she said, you know, I want to share with you this story. In the best of circumstances, when we're born, there's family gathered around the mom and welcoming this newborn child into this beautiful, blessed planet Earth of ours. And in the best of circumstances, surrounded by family and love. And she said, your mom right now is in that narrow passage too, but it's the narrow passage to the other side. And she said, on the other side are the ancestors. Reaching out to your mom saying, don't worry, we want you here. We want you here. Don't be afraid, you got a home. You got a home. And so that story from Lisa Bellinger gave me a great deal of comfort in that time of need. Sun shining down on the pines in the forest, down on this cabin made of log. Last night I swore I heard a choir of angels singing so loudly by the shore. Oh, lay me down easy, lay down slow. I don't want to get old with this life anymore. All that I need is your love beside me. I need food for my soul. Looking for work, I couldn't find any to make me feel worthy. Call it my own. So many friends now I've seen go under from the work that they do, that I no longer know. This is my mom. And the next slide up here, the one after this is my Uncle Mel. This is my cousin Mel's dad.
Yeah. The original.
He was a great stonemason, and he used to take us in when I was bumming around the country with Fiddlin' Pete. And the next slide, is trying to catch up with things here, is somebody else. There we go. Years back, I was working in the South, and I was working with youth and elders, and a man came in with a baseball bat and a glove with no lace, and he said, this baseball glove was a glove of the late great Satchel Paige of the Negro Baseball League, one of the best pitchers of all time. But due to Jim Crow, he was never allowed to get into the major leagues. And the bat that he was holding, he said, this is the bat that got a bunt down the third base line. I made it safe to first base. And Satchel was screaming at me, and I thought he was cussing me out, but he said, you're hired. and he said, I became the catcher for the late great Satchel Paige during those days of Jim Crow. And he said, when we traveled through the South, in those days of Jim Crow, we would always travel around with a case of sardines underneath the seat of the bus because we weren't allowed to get food in local cafes because of the white supremacists and the Jim Crow laws that kept us separate, which ain't no more, praise God.
Yeah.
And that he said, you go ahead and pause on that one, and we will never go back. And that he said that when they couldn't get fed, they depended upon those cases of sardines to stay alive. And he said he attributed his old age to all the oil that he consumed. And then he talked about marching with Dr. Martin Luther King in Kentucky when a white supremacist threw a brick and hit Dr. King in the forehead, and the brick dropped down to the ground. And what did Dr. King do? Frank Evans said, somebody bring me that brick, because that's a brick of justice.
Oh, yeah.
Bring that brick to me, it's a brick of justice. And then what he did, he said, everybody, hold that brick and place your hands on that brick. And then he prayed over the brick. He said, Father, drive the demons out with your mercy and your love. And the man that threw the brick dropped to his knees and asked forgiveness of Dr. King.
Wow.
And he granted it to him. He granted it to him.